Good evening, I'm Brittany Radakovich.
And I'm Ryan Kernan. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision. Music may sound good to your ears. Students around campus are finding out sharing uploaded music can turn into a real downer.
Speaking of music, find out what part of the world these jammin' tunes are coming from.
And there's some intense gaming taking place in the UW-M Union. The sport may be underground, literally, but it's making Milwaukee the center of attention.
All this and much more, coming up next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UW-M Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. Students have a hard time finding their new favorite tune on the internet.
Limewire is the latest file-sharing software to fall victim to copyright infringement.
As I found out, students may want to think twice before downloading and sharing illegal files. Walking to school or waiting for the bus, listening to music is all part of a normal day for UW-M student Alex Jagelski. But headphones bring to mind a different tune.
I was sued for $5,500 by Limewire for about 15 songs.
Some of the other students who got sued with her weren't so lucky.
The last case that was settled was maybe 2 years ago, and it was a woman who her daughter had used Limewire, downloaded like 15 songs on her parents' computer, so her parents got sued for it. And they ended up losing the case, and they had to pay like $350,000.
Another UW-M student who doesn't want to be named said,
I would say the majority of students at UW-M do use kind of downloads and stuff to get songs on their iPod.
Teenagers and students have an average of 800 illegally copied songs each on their digital music players.
I have around 2,000 songs on my iPod, and I believe around 1,000 or so are probably illegal.
In late October, Limewire was court-ordered to shut down due to massive copyright infringement. This warning message behind me is what Limewire users will see when they try to log on and download illegal music. Because all these sites are getting shut down, students will have to find an alternative. Jagelski says there is a smarter way to gather music.
Now I stay as far away from Limewire as possible. I buy songs for 99 cents on iTunes. I buy CDs in stores. Not getting anywhere near Limewire.
In Milwaukee, I'm Ryan Kernan for Panthervision. Since 2003, the Recording Industry Association of America has filed 30,000 lawsuits targeting illegal file sharing. The RIAA recently lost a motion to freeze various Limewire assets. Limewire has its next court date set for January 18th of next year.
Governor-elect Scott Walker is fighting to stop development of the Milwaukee to Madison high-speed train project. Walker has sent a letter to federal officials saying that the $810 million in federal stimulus money should be used for road repair instead. Officials in both Illinois and New York say they'd be happy to take Wisconsin's money and use it to build their own rail transit systems. Walker takes office on January 3rd of next year.
Getting around campus by bus or bike is nothing new.
But two area colleges may have found an exciting new way to become more efficient and stay just as eco-friendly.
Justin Paul has the story.
You might have seen these cars driving around campus. Zipcars have been providing UW-M students with alternative transportation for the past 3 years. And now, another local school has jumped on the bandwagon. Marquette University adopted Zipcars just last week. Michael Whittle helped bring the program to the campus.
The students are allowed to reserve the vehicle either online or by the phone, and then they come down and check out the vehicle.
Students can rent these cars for $7 an hour.
Even though the weather today is beautiful and these cars aren't in use, come wintertime, these energy-efficient vehicles might be in high demand.
In addition to being energy efficient, Zipcars also have keyless entry. UWM junior Nyasha Bagley plans to use the Zipcars this weekend.
Definitely for groceries. I'm a fiend for cooking, so carrying 4 bags on a bus doesn't usually work.
A total of 226 universities across the country have a Zipcar program. In Milwaukee, I'm Justin Paul for Panthervision.
The cars include insurance and gas and can be rented for $60 a day. Students who want to use a Zipcar can reserve them through the University Housing website.
Walk on to Spates Plaza, and you will find hundreds of reasons to honor UWM students. 1,200 American flags are on display, representing each of the student veterans at UWM. The flags are part of Veterans Day celebrations. Other festivities include a recognition program which discusses student veteran experiences and issues about their redeployment.
As winter graduation approaches, seniors start thinking about life after the diploma. Some graduates dream about getting a job, others dream about changing the world. As Loren Roberts reports, one UWM grad isn't content just to dream.
Some students start small after graduation.
And I realized if I wanted to have my own voice and do things the way I wanted to do them, I pretty much should start my own company.
But a journalism graduate went from graduation to a much bigger forum.
We realized just how massive this topic really is. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin's largest city, I find energetic
Janet Fitch's documentary series focuses on gun violence in the United States and in Wisconsin.
I decided to turn it into a 3-part series called Guns, Grief, and Grace in America.
Her series presents a new idea on how to handle the issue.
I didn't start out with the perspective of this could be a public health issue. You know, it was just, I really thought we could solve it the way we were going about it with political discourse. And about halfway through, I realized this is not going to happen.
A segment of her documentary is shown as part of a forum at the First Unitarian Church on Saturday.
And how do we get people who don't know they need to be in these discussions to start to pay attention? So my work is more about reclaiming the public sphere for discussion of critical and very complex social topics. I've personally interviewed many young people in prison. The stories don't change that much. No job, no future, no hope of the American dream. Prevention of urban young people, when they see them, then they want to put on their own screenings. And they do. And, you know, with just a little coaching, we can talk to them about, you know, and when you're talking about it afterwards, you don't want to have that old conversation. You know, you want to have a new conversation.
A conversation that starts here at UWM at the Multicultural Center.
It isn't always physical. You can always give the mental and your mind to the situation and show the different ways that people can get involved by challenging the system and getting people, other groups to help you so that you're not by yourself.
An example of how she is showing her films her way.
I absolutely love making films, maybe more than being an activist, which is really surprising.
In Milwaukee, I'm Loren Roberts for Panthervision.
Fitch says she'll continue to distribute her films locally, statewide, and nationally. To find out more about what Fitch does, go to her website, newmoononline.com.
UW-Whitewater police are investigating what appears to be another hate crime. The university says someone slashed the tires and spray-painted KKK on the hoods and doors of 3 cars. The cars are owned by African American students. This comes after 2 gay-related hate crimes at Whitewater in the past month. Police haven't made any arrests so far.
It seems like every day we hear about crime in the news, but you may not hear about more refreshing stories. As Panthervision Shakara Robinson found out, random acts of kindness may be on the rise.
It's that time of year. Time for UWM student volunteers to grab their rakes and gloves and participate in the 9th annual Racket-On. Organized by the Center for Volunteerism and Student Leadership, volunteers are sent out as far as Cudahy to rake, trim, and clean yards for those who are unable to do it themselves. Most students are still asleep at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, but students like Jacob are out here volunteering their time for UWM's annual Racket-On. The first 3 letters of Racket-On stand for Random Acts of Kindness, something Jacob Glicklick takes pride in being a part of.
But I have the free time, I have the abilities. I mean, I have some elderly relatives myself, and know that certainly if I'd be willing to to with them, but other people do not necessarily have anything in terms of grandchildren.
What does the Racket-On mean to Marguerite Hannes, Murray Street resident of over 30 years?
Everything in the world.
At 90 years old, she looks forward to receiving the help each year.
So all these leaves here and the bushes that are overgrown and they're dead and they had to be cut back, and I look forward to them coming every year.
With a daughter working at UW in social work, Mrs. Hannes is no stranger to the Racket-On.
They just call me every year. Oh. I don't have to do anything.
They call you?
They call me, yes. They call me and say, Mrs. Hannes, it's that time of the year, and then here you are. Welcome.
While the leaves are raked away, Mrs. Hannes is definitely here to stay.
No, I'm not going. No, I'm not going anyplace. I'm here. I don't have to go anyplace. In
Milwaukee, I'm Shakara Robinson for Panthervision.
Students can sign up for next year's Racket-On through the Center of Volunteerism and Student Leadership.
Coming up next, find out what has students swinging their hips.
And why plates are falling from the sky. That and more when Panthervision continues.
It could be we are here solely to remind each other what must not be missed or ignored, but celebrated. When do we stop learning? Maybe never.
In Chinese medicine, that the body has to move.
For watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
With winter just around the corner, students may find a little relief in the UWM Union.
Panthervision's Ashley Jordan has the story.
No, we're not actually in the Caribbean. But for tonight, we can pretend. In the beginning, it was far from lively. Thanks to the Trinidad Tripoli Steel Band, though, moods immediately changed. The socio-cultural program was in charge of Caribbean Fest, and manager of the program, Carla Cadet, says she wants students to become more aware of the group and what it has to offer.
We're here in that we plan different events that are open to our students that address different topics that we hope to continue educating and enlightening folks on different national, local topics related to culture, related to multiple identities, and we hope to support students with what they're learning in the classrooms as well.
Hugh Board is the leader of the band, and he knows how to get a crowd off their feet.
Calypso time, party time, reggae time.
Hugh's band has performed at UWM before, and he says reggae is his passion.
I love this business that I'm in because they make people laugh. The smallest of those, the eldest of people could get up and dance.
Celeste Clark came to Caribbean Fest for one particular reason.
I get to dance.
It may be brisk outside, but inside the forecast is sunny with a chance of fun. In Milwaukee, I'm Ashley Jordan for Panthervision.
The Socio-Cultural and Union Programming Departments plan about 200 events like Caribbean Fest every year.
Time magazine says he's one of the 100 most influential people. So it comes to no surprise that the speech by Michael Pollan sold out at UWM. Pollan is considered a food activist, and he did a little grocery shopping for his presentation. The idea was to show the audience how deceiving the food industry can be.
None of us have any time to cook anymore, or so we're told by the food industry. And so we've got this whole range of amazing products. These are no longer even refrigerated. Here is a chicken dish, sweet and sour chicken. I don't know how they do it. With great producing in any way.
Pollan is an author, journalist, and professor at the University of California.
Carrying around a wad of cash isn't very practical for college students, but at MATC they might not have a choice. MATC reporter Taylor Im has the story.
Card over cash. Students at MATC are unhappy with their choices when it comes to purchasing food or paying fees.
Probably because it makes it easier to use a debit card since I can track the money in my account a lot better instead of having to go and actually take the cash out of my account every time I need to bring money to eat anything at school, basically.
I like debit because you know the money's there and you spend your own money rather than loaning out money that you can't pay. But I like the student ID card because it's got your photo on it, so no one else can use it. But overall, I just think that a lot of students are still irresponsible at our age. I mean, there's irresponsible adults, but if you're trying to benefit the school, then debit by far because it's actual real money.
Brenda Sugstad, Stormer Card Coordinator, believes that paying with a student ID can be more convenient.
The benefits for using the store pass, as we call it, is for convenience basically. This way you don't have to be digging for change in your pocket or that dollar bill, or women don't have to be carrying their purses. It's an easy swipe, you can track your balances. You can use it in vending machines, the Stormer Cafe, and in the food service areas at each campus. Right now you can use it for parking. You have to pay your parking with it and you get a discounted rate. If you don't use your card, you're going to pay hourly. So it's definitely a benefit to use it for the parking.
Ms. Sugstad has hope that the Stormer Card will catch on, and only time will tell. I'm Taylor M. with MATC Report for UWM Panthervision.
UWM's equivalent to the Stormer card is the Panther card, but at UWM you can only use debit or credit cards wherever the Panther card is accepted.
It's been a pretty mild fall so far.
But this past weekend it was pretty nasty out there. Taylor Thompson joins us with weather.
Pretty cold and windy this past weekend, Taylor.
Yeah, that's true, but it could have been a lot worse, guys. Up in Minneapolis, they had upwards of a foot of snow along with some winter storm warnings. So, another bad sign to compound with that loss for the Vikings fans to the Bears yesterday. But anyway, let's take a look at our current conditions right now. Currently, we have a high of 44 degrees. It's partly cloudy out there. Dew point is at 32, so it's a little dry. And the pressure is holding steady at 29.87 millibars. And now we'll take a look at rest of today's forecast for your working Monday. We have a high of 50 degrees, which is a little bit higher than normal for this time of year. And we have no chance of rain. So if you have any outdoor plans this afternoon, you are set. Let's take a look at our overnight lows. We can get to those. Overnight lows. We had 28 in Rhinelander, 31 in Eau Claire, 33 in La Crosse, same over in Green Bay, 31 in Oshkosh, 30 in Madison, and right here in Milwaukee, we have 31 degrees for overnight. Looking at the highs, we need highs. We got lows already. Let's do the highs for the rest of the day. Can we do that? I guess I'll just read them to you then. Rhinelander, we have, are we just going to go to the forecast now? I guess we'll go to the forecast. For the rest of the night, we have mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a low of 37, and the winds will be south at 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead to tomorrow, partly sunny. There will be a chance of rain. We have a weak low pressure system moving in. The high will be 51, so it will actually be warmer than it was for today. The low 37, winds southwest at 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead to Wednesday, we have a high of 48, low 32, and winds north 5 to 10. And let's check out that Panther Predictor extended forecast. We're going to have slowly rising temperatures through the week, mostly sunny up until Sunday where we have some cloudy skies with a chance of rain, but it will be top out at 54, so looking pretty good. And but eventually, that cold weather will be coming, but at least not for this week.
Thanks, Taylor.
No problem.
Milwaukee will be hosting a big event in the world of sports, but not many people know about it, nor the sport itself. Panthervision's Rashida Butler takes us to the depths of the UWM Union for more.
The UWM Union is known to some as the living room of the campus, but most people don't know that down below lies one of its best kept secrets.
As you can see, there's a lot going on in here. But rule number 1, watch out for flying balls. Okay.
It's table tennis. It's ranked the second in the world overall in terms of participation, and yet People like Linda Leaf, UWM table tennis instructor, feel like not enough students on the campus are involved.
That has been kind of an ongoing problem, so to speak, in trying to get the word out to the students that they have a very active student table tennis club here at UW.
Students of the course Linda teaches, like Thomas Vaughn, feel like it is a sport everyone should be involved in, even if it is strictly for the fun and the stress relief it creates.
And I mean, coming down and playing is also just a benefit in and of itself because you get to spend time with your buddies and just kind of hang out.
Tyler Morgan is an employee at the UWM Rec Center. He says the sports intensity is underrated on the UWM campus.
We usually get a group of guys that come down and they'll play for like 3 or 4 hours at a time. And it's funny because they'll come out there and you don't think ping pong's that intense of a sport, but they'll come out and they'll have sweat dripping down.
One thing is for sure, table tennis is definitely here to stay.
Right now.
In Milwaukee, I'm Rashida Butler for Panthervision.
Oh, mine.
Instructor Linda Leaf is one of the people responsible for bringing the Table Tennis U.S. Open Championship to Milwaukee. The event is going to be taking place next summer and is expected to bring $1.3 million to the area.
Coming up next on Panthervision, UWM takes on its biggest in-state rival.
And call it what you will, but there's no denying the discs are flying. That and more when we come back.
Boy, it's amazing how many stars there are.
You know what's really amazing, Clell, is that recent discoveries within the Orion Nebula lend credence to the theory of a whole other solar system, predating our own, of course, the origins of which remain in microscopic gaseous form, thus increasing the chances of our not being alone.
Let's see.
The UWM women's soccer team takes on its biggest state rival.
And the stakes are high. Ashley Jordan joins us with sports.
Thanks, guys. The UWM women's soccer team played against mean old Madison. Panthervision's Taylor Thompson was at the game.
In Wisconsin, and the frigid temperatures can be fierce.
Cold, very cold.
Okay. But on this night, the weather has some competition. It's NCAA tourney time at Marquette's Valley Fields. For Cheryl Spurl, this game has special meaning.
It's very exciting. We're hoping they keep continuing so the season doesn't end.
Her daughter, senior Nicole Spurl, wears number 7 for the Panthers. Cheryl has been coming to UWM soccer games for a little while.
This is almost like our 8th year. Our other son, Steven, had been with the men's team for 4 years before this.
Although Nicole's brother is a little shy about his past.
This is my son, Steve. He was from the men's team a few years ago.
Never played before, first time.
Other UWM fans are here simply just to cheer on their team.
So just how fired up is this crowd? Well, let them tell you. Guys?
Kurt Smith is one of those who brave the elements.
I made my way down here in the treacherous weather. It was very cold, but I'll do anything to support our Panthers.
The Panthers lost 2-1 to the Badgers. But as they say, there's always next year. In Milwaukee, I'm Taylor Thompson for Panthervision.
The men's soccer team made it to the Horizon League playoffs but fell to Loyola University 3-0 in the first round. The season may be over for some, But some on the men's soccer team had a little more to worry about this year. Panthervision's Taylor Thompson has a story, again.
Freshman students, life on campus is a new beginning full of promise. The same rings true here. And here. And similar to academics, the road to victory in athletics is full of bumps along the way. UWM men's soccer coach Chris Wally realizes how difficult the transition can be.
It's difficult for someone coming out of high school from maybe being a high school hero, all state, all this, all that, to then come in back, into the college game and you're back down to the bottom of the totem pole.
Dedication on the collegiate level can be tough. Some players rise to the occasion, while others just can't take the heat. But freshman Riley Weiner proved otherwise on October 16th against Loyola University.
It was definitely pretty exciting to have my first college goal be a game winner with a minute left in second overtime. It was can't ask for much more than that. So
his freshman playing partner Kevin Farron has seen his stock rise as well, and that has the attention of a familiar face.
And I'm real excited about the energy that the newcomers are contributing.
John Moreau is Kevin's former high school coach. The team hopes to propel that young energy into future success.
2-1 time.
In Milwaukee, I'm Taylor Thompson for Panthervision.
The men's basketball team kicked off its season over the weekend in Portland, Oregon. The team won only 1 of 3 games during the Athletes in Action Classic. While the men's team was out of state on Saturday, the women played at home but lost to Oklahoma State 76-59. Their next game will be Tuesday at Chicago State. That's it for sports. Back to you, Ryan and Brittany.
Thanks, Ashley. Maybe you've heard of disc golf, rolfing, or frisbee golf. Well, they all mean the same thing. With 7 official courses in Milwaukee County, the sport is catching on. Lindsay Spa has more.
Sport. A frisbee-like object is thrown with a goal of ending in a basket.
Sweet.
The name is disc golf.
Estabrook is the closest park for UWM students to get their game on.
And that's exactly where Devin Engel and a friend were. He said he picked up the sport 4 years ago.
We gave it a try, and then we liked it a lot, so next day we went out and bought some discs.
Engel prefers to test his skills at Dretska.
It's real challenging, it's real long, but it is quite a drive, so.
But that's where you'll find UWM alumni Terry Miller. He's a professional disc golfer.
Not quite enough turn, but it'll work. When you're competing at the professional level, that's when you have the chance to win some money.
So where can people start? Peter Parsons began Mojo Disc Golf in West Dallas.
There's no store devoted entirely to disc golf. This is as close as it gets.
A rise in popularity has brought a lot of people in, but the sport isn't the only thing. Parsons is also an optician in the same building.
Okay, here you go.
It has sparked customers' interest.
Then, oh, that's what my niece does, or that's what my nephew does. And they might have thought, oh, I thought they were saying they disco.
Disco may not be around anymore, but disc golf sure is.
You need to step out and around the tree to get a clear shot. That would be an ideal reason for using the straddle putt.
In Milwaukee, I'm Lindsay Spa for Panthervision.
UWM has an intramural disc golf team that's open to any interested students. The league will start up again in the spring. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of Panthervision.
You can watch us anytime on Time Warner's Wisconsin On Demand Channel 411.
You can also see us on Time Warner Channel 14 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.